How do Polish fans feel about having such tough opponents in their group? Will the Polish team miss the injured players Lewandowski and Milik? Who else will my guest cheer for in the tournament? What are some basic expressions related to injury and fitness? Hi, welcome back to the Footglish Podcast. My name is Zdenek Lukas. I am an English teacher, and this is my new podcast, which can help you improve not only your football English. Welcome to the show. And as always, these days, we are talking about the Euros 2024 on this podcast. And we haven't spoken about Poland yet. So I thought I might as well fix that. And I couldn't think of a better person to talk to me about the Polish team than my friend Tomasz, a doctor and also a polyglot. Hi, Tomasz. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Zdenek. Thanks for the great introduction. I'm not sure if I'm already a polyglot, but I surely am a doctor and I love foreign languages. So thank you for your invitation. It's great to be here.
You're very welcome. So Tomasz, just to explain this, so you are Polish from Poland, but you're living in Germany.
Oh yes, to feel the whole atmosphere of the Euro 2024. I'm here, and we'll see how far will Germany get, and what would we with the whole atmosphere of football in Germany. We'll see.
But we are not going to be talking about Germany. I think we can say a few
Not
things.
At all.
You are here to talk about your team, Polska, as we say, right? Polska.
Of course. Polska is my team. That's the team I'm supporting since I was a little kid. So, yes, today we will talk about Poland.
That's great. So, we are neighboring countries as well. I'm from the Czech Republic, as my listeners know. You are from Poland, so I think it's reasonable for to cover the Polish team as well. But well, your team hasn't really been pulling out any trees at the Euros. I think how many tournaments have you been on so far?
That's our fifth time, and the greatest success was 2016.
Okay.
Then we came to the quarterfinal and we lost against Portugal, who then became the European champion. So we'll see.
Yeah, it happened the same thing. It was actually hosted by Portugal, that Euros. I remember that. And our team, the Czech team, got knocked out by Portugal in the quarterfinals, I believe.
It was
the previous tournament.
I think it was in France. I think it was in France.
Are you sure?
16 was in France because Portugal have beaten France in the final. That was this great disappointment of the French team, if I am not mistaken.
Well, we can check. We can always check it if you want me to do that. 2014 Euro
16, yeah.
2016. Sorry. Yeah, it was in France. You were right, of course. Thank you for correcting me. And
it's only because it was this great experience for all Poles, because we got to the quarterfinals. We got eliminated in the kicks. What's very unfortunate every time. So, well, it was a great year for us.
It's always disappointing. But you are quite a football nation, in my opinion. Football, I believe, is sport number one in your country. And you have a lot of passionate football fans and teams that have a lot of supporters. So it is a little bit underwhelming to see that your team doesn't usually get very far. And to make things even worse, you have been drawn into a group of death. Tell me about that, Tomasz. Why did that happen to you?
Well, that's the Group D. It's D like group of death. that's for sure. We have to play against France and against the Netherlands. And the fourth team is Austria. It's like the phenomenon of the last years. They have I don't know, they have beaten everybody in last years, including Germany, Turkey, in great style, what you've already spoken about. So it happened, well, we made it happen a little bit because we got to the Euro 2024 through the backyard door, and I mean really backyard door. So it was the last chance in the last playoffs
Yeah.
that was constructed out of a Nations League. So
Yeah.
we are all very happy to be there, and now we have to do our best
Mm.
to somehow go out of this group.
To progress, obviously. So, well, the Netherlands that's your first game as well against the Netherlands. That's your opening game. It's on Sunday, I believe, right?
Yes, it's on
Mm.
Sunday, and the great situation we have this time, I think, is that we have this great group. So nobody is really in Polish media. Nobody is saying they have to go further.
I see.
There is no real pressure. There is this
Mhm.
great tension. Now we are all about football already in Poland, but there is no real pressure. And that's a very positive thing for the team that this time is a younger team than before. We have some young players, some new players. So we hope that it will go well.
Yeah, I think it's always like that, right? The pressure is off, especially if you are drawn into such a difficult group. Then the media are more realistic about it, and that could be an advantage. It always suited the Czech team, so let's hope it's the same for your team. But to make things even worse, some of your star players got injured right before the tournament. Can you tell us more about that?
Unfortunately, we don't have Arkadiusz Milik anymore because he got injured in the first test game before the Euro. And then in the second test game, our star player, the best Polish player of all times, Robert Lewandowski, got injured a little bit. So our manager says he will not be able to play in 2 days on Sunday against the Netherlands. And we'll surely need him afterwards playing against Austria and France. So once again, let's hope that the fact that he will not be playing could be this additional motivation for our young players to show their skills, no? And also to show the world that the Polish national team can work and can play without Robert Lewandowski, because we have to face it. In
I
a
think
few years, there is no Robert Lewandowski in our team. So we have to find this new generation.
Yeah, I don't want to sound disrespectful, but sometimes perhaps Poland, the Polish team, was sort of referred to as a team of one player because of how good Lewandowski
Of
is,
course.
and how good he has been. And it happens to other teams as well. Maybe someone might say Portugal have been the team of Ronaldo. I don't think it's true, not at all, not anymore. But it's possible that at some point that was the case. And maybe now, again, the same thing. The pressure is a little bit off, and these young players will not necessarily have to look up to their greatest hero, and instead they will show what they've got, and your team will benefit from it.
Yeah, I think so. And they will also show to Robert Lewandowski how good they are, because Robert Lewandowski is not only a great player, he is a great person. So he will support them from the bench. I'm pretty sure he'll do everything in the first game. He will be probably our second manager in this game because he can't wait to play on Euro this time. And he'll have to wait, no? The first game that US will not be able to play. So we'll see. We have some very strong names already. We have some old staggers like Szczęsny, our goalkeeper. We have Zielinski, a midfielder. We have Piątek, the striker. But we have this young new generation, and there are some names that are very interesting. There is Jakub Moder of Brighton from England.
And
Who
Jakub
is coming
Kivior
back.
as well.
Jakub Kivior from your
Because
favorite team,
yeah,
Arsenal, of
exactly,
course. A
exactly.
great defender. And
Uh-huh.
there was always a little bit complaining about how we lack creativity in our midfield. And now the situation is completely different. Now we have
Really?
Kacper Urbański, a very young player who came to the team with only 19 years of age. We
Ooh,
have
okay.
Sebastian Szymański from Fenerbahce Istanbul, who had a great season there. We have Nikola Zalewski from AS Roma. We have Jakub Moder. He is coming back after injury. No, so no, the one who I spoke about from Brighton. So there are many midfielders who could really change something now. No, and this creativity, we saw it already in those two test games against Ukraine and against Turkey, which we won surprisingly, both of them. And it was the dynamic we haven't seen in last month, if not even years. So the hopes of the fans are great, but there is not even a bit of pressure. So we only want them to play beautiful football, to play their best against those great teams we have in the group, and we'll see.
Well, the good news is that even 3 teams can progress from your group. Well, most of the groups will be like that. So
Yeah,
out of the 6 groups, 4 of those groups
Yeah.
will have the third teams progressing into the last 16 knockout stage. So I think there is a chance. There is definitely a chance, especially because you could also be underestimated by your opponents, which always happens in football, right? Always does. So I think you are in a very interesting position, and I will be eagerly watching your games. And obviously, I might even send you a message to see how you react to it.
Oh, of course. Oh, it will happen. It will happen, I'm sure. Thinking about the case with getting to be the third or to become the lucky third in the group, I think you will need 4 points. I was thinking about it a lot. So we have to win against Austria and get an extra point against Netherlands or France. So it won't be easy, but it's possible. I think it's possible. We just
Yeah.
have to fight in every game like it would be a final, and we have to try it.
Exactly. I want to ask you again about Lewandowski. So he is still in the team, so he's only out for that first game. And you, being a doctor, what happened to him? Tell us what his injury is and
Well,
how long it takes to recover from that.
of course, no, there are many secrets. No, if you have some star player that's injured, so they do not tell you everything, but everybody says, and that's what the officials said, that it's the injury of a thigh, of the biceps of a thigh, and it's probably known to every person who did some running in his life or played football. So it could be everything. No, it could be from a very light injury, and for the second game he's totally fit, and we will not have any problem with it, to some severe states of the muscle. So we are all I think all sport doctors that are active in media have already commented it in the last 4 or 5 days, and you have like all kinds of opinion. No? So now it's the tie of the nation. Yeah, it's not only tie of Lewandowski.
Yeah. So hopefully he will shake it off soon, and you will be able to enjoy this great player who is also getting on. Is it possibly his last tournament, in your opinion? Or will there be one more after that?
Well, it's very difficult to speak about it now because now he's injured.
Yeah.
And the greatest advantage of having Lewandowski in your team was always he was never injured. So we thought it would have never happened. And then it happened, but still, I think his body is some kind of, I don't know, he uses some magical tricks. Nobody knows what he does. But he has a chance, I think, to play 2 or even 4 more years, just like Cristiano Ronaldo does. And maybe we'll see him again at the World Cup. If you look at him, on his constitution and how he plays, well, I don't see an old player who wants to end his career. No,
Yeah.
you see this great dynamics of a very experienced striker who can help on every position on the pitch. So We'll see.
Well, you will not be putting him in the goal, I think, but I understand what you mean, and I think it's also about who plays with him, right? So if you have players who can run, and you sort of uh, put those two together, or more players, then it will be easier for him, as long as there is not so much load, like running load and
Mhm.
pressing load. You can see the same is happening with players like Ronaldo and others too, who are a little bit older. Right. Tomasz, so you live in Germany, so you're not supporting Germany, though, are you? Not at all.
Well, I think it's the trouble that Poland and the Netherlands have, this kind of football trauma
Hmm.
we have against Germany. So we do not support them directly. But of course, if you are a real football fan, no,
Yeah,
you can see the quality,
you can
and you
appreciate it. And,
respect,
yeah.
you appreciate your opponent.
Mm.
So we'll see. You've already had a great discussion about German team. We'll see. At the moment, I would say there is an analog situation, no, between Poland and Germany. Those are
Mhm.
both teams that you cannot estimate even a little bit, because they didn't play with those players
Mm.
many games till now. So we have to wait what they'll show, and that's
Yeah,
that's also the trouble with the Polish team. No,
yeah,
we had a new coach. No, he is not very long with the team. So we'll see. The
we'll
first game
see.
will show it. And today, here in Germany, the tension is great at the moment because it starts today. So we are speaking on Friday,
Hmm.
14th of June. So today
Yep.
at the evening, everything will start, and we'll see. And the whole Poland waits for Sunday to see what these boys can do against those great teams. And we have this very tragic tragedy. It's the very bad tradition. Yeah, we have in Poland, because it is already a part of Polish language. We have this joke that everybody is
Telling.
it's telling when some kind of football tournament starts, and it says that Poland plays three games: the opening game, all or nothing game, and the consolation game, and we do not want it to repeat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Well, apart from your team, which other teams, let's say, do you cheer for?
well, I'm overwhelmed with the fact that there are so many Slavic teams in the tournament, and I'll surely support Czech Republic because I love your team. I've been twice to a game in the stadium of Czech Republic national football team.
Really?
That's great. Yes,
Wow.
it was great. It was a game against Portugal on Euro
Hmm.
2012 that took place in this
Ah.
great stadium I have
Hmm.
behind my back. And now you've lost only 1-0 to Portugal, who
Mm.
is a great team, with Ronaldo scoring a goal. And second
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
I was in Turin. I was with my wife. We went to a game, Italy, Czech Republic. So I love Czech fans. I'm learning Czech language. So
Yeah.
that's the team I will support, surely. And
Great.
Slovakia also,
Hmm.
because um, I would say the reasons are the same. And
Mm.
Ukraine, of course, now because 2012 it was the championship of two nations,
And you were
Poland and
together. You were
Ukraine.
together, right? Yeah,
Yes,
I
we were
remember that.
organizing it, and now with the whole situation we have in the world, it's just terrible. And I think every
Yeah,
poll will also support Ukraine, no? Just to
yeah.
show that they're there, no? And
I'm doing
it's,
exactly the same. I told
yeah,
you. I told you in the first episode of this podcast that I definitely will support Ukraine. And yeah, okay, great. Maybe there will be more sort of energy in the air because we will support each other in this way, right?
of course. So I keep my fingers crossed. Also for the Czech Republic, and I'm very curious. What will you play now? What will the play also of the Czech Republic? With Poland, it's very easy. We're Counter-Strike team, so we're waiting on our chance, and that's what we do since like 70s. So that's what we can do, and
Stick to it then. Stick to it. Stick to your guns.
That's what we have to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Do what you're good at. It makes sense. All right, Tomasz, it's been a real pleasure to talk to you. And thank you very much for
Thank you.
featuring on this episode of the Footglish Podcast. And I hope to have you back soon to talk about some Polish national team success.
Great.
All right. Take care.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
And to all the fans, have fun.
Take
Bye
care.
bye.
Okay, guys, in this part of the show, I would like to teach you some language as usual. And this time I want to talk about injuries. So if a player isn't okay, we say that player is injured. Usually an injured player cannot play, right, in the game. And they have to recover from that injury first. Now, the moment it happens in a match, we say that player gets injured. Yeah, that player got injured. If you really want to know who is responsible for that injury, you could say that that player got injured by someone, right? Okay. Now, if you are okay, we can say you are fit. That means you are in a good physical condition. We can also say that you are in good shape. But then there is another expression, and that is to be match fit. If you're match fit, that's slightly different from just being fit. It's sort of even better than just being fit, because you could be fit but not match fit. Match fit means that you are used to playing matches regularly. You're used to playing 90 minutes each week. Yeah. If you're match fit, it means you are in the rhythm. Your body is used to that physical load of playing football matches. So to be match fit, it's really important for players. Of course, it's also important to be fit. That's for sure. Now, I'm not gonna talk about injuries. I mean, there are so many different types of injuries, but I'm just going through some basic vocabulary here. So obviously, a collocation is you could be seriously injured. If you're seriously injured, then something really bad happens to you. For example, you tear your ACL, your anterior cruciate ligament, right? Or you break your leg or something. So those are obviously more serious injuries. Concussion can be a serious injury as well. And then we can talk about a minor injury, a moderate injury, and severe injury. So minor injury is nothing too serious, a moderate injury, and then finally a severe injury. That's a really bad one. That's similar to serious. All right, and then I've got a question to end the show with. Tell me about the worst injury you have suffered in sports. Let me know in the comments if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, on the Teachers Danik YouTube channel. If not, you can just send me an email or just answer that question for yourself. Thank you very much for listening to this episode of the Footglish Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends. And if you really like the show, why not leave a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you can do that. This sort of initial stage of starting a new podcast is very, very important, of course, right? So that's why I need it to go well. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye for now. Cheers.